Welcome back to this explainer, focus learners. Okay, so we are living in a pretty wild era right now, where incredibly powerful AI models are literally instantly accessible to almost everyone. But here's the really critical question. When everybody has the exact same AI tools right at their fingertips, how on earth do you actually stand out? Well, today we're going to explore exactly why a highly crafted user experience is the ultimate and honestly perhaps the only sustainable AI moat you've got left. Let's just dive right in. So here's a pretty harsh reality for a lot of tech teams out there. Your code, it's just no longer a competitive advantage. Like if your entire business strategy relies on having a slightly better prompt or maybe making a faster API call to some existing foundational model, you don't actually have a moat. What you've built is a fragile wrapper. And honestly, a highly caffeinated teenager could probably clone your entire business model in a single weekend. No joke. We are experiencing a massive shift in the industry right now. Back in the old era, moats were built on proprietary algorithms, massive server costs, and these super deep technical barriers to entry. But today, AI has basically dragged that barrier down to zero. We've officially entered what you could call the sea of sameness. See, rushing these commoditized AI features to market without a unique point of view, it doesn't disrupt an industry. It really just adds a few more identical paper boats to this giant ocean of mediocre software. And that brings us to a really crucial perspective from Dylan Field, the CEO of Figma. He explicitly stated, design now sits at the top of the value stock for software. Just take a second and really think about what that means. Success is no longer about just making things functionally work under the hood, right? Because AI can make things work. Success today is all about dictating exactly how those things work together and crafting this very precise emotional experience for the user when they're actually interacting with your software. Which brings us right to our first major pitfall. Section 1, the Frankenstein product, or treating AI like a flashy decoration. Because so many companies are absolutely panicking to look like cutting-edge AI innovators, they're out there frantically bolting on these one-off gimmicks. And the result? It's what we call the Frankenstein product. Basically, it's a super disjointed user experience caused by just slapping a large language model into an interface without actually redesigning the core workflow. I mean, you know the exact feeling I'm talking about. You open an app, and suddenly there's this glowing, totally mismatched Ask AI button just awkwardly shoved into a corner somewhere. It completely shutters your cognitive flow. Instead of feeling like you're using one cohesive, intelligent brain, it honestly feels like you're wrestling with 6 completely disjointed tools. So, I want you to honestly ask yourself this question. Is it calm? Like, look at the very last AI feature your team shipped out. Or heck, even the last one you used as a consumer. Does it feel opinionated, intentional, and, surprisingly human? Does it actually bring a sense of calm to your workflow? Or does it feel like some kind of chaotic science experiment that paying customers were literally forced to beta test? Because I'll tell you right now, if it's the latter, that company's moat is completely dry. Let's pivot over to the solution now. Section 2, elevating the craft of design and looking at how design actually acts as your ultimate moat. The really beautiful thing about AI is that as it absorbs all those repetitive, execution-heavy parts of building a product, like drafting a basic layouts, right? Product teams suddenly gain massive amounts of time for the real judgment-driven work. The role of design has expanded way beyond just pushing pixels around. Human beings actually have to decide what is meaningful to ship. You have to ruthlessly protect the product's point of view, you've got to say no to those fragmented flows we talked about, and you have to actively manage how the AI behaves just to protect your users from confusion or bias. Basically, you are taking full responsibility for the entire user journey. Just look at the stark contrast here between technical tweaking and actual systemic thinking, prompt engineering versus design systems. And here is the absolute brutal reality of the market right now. You can go ahead and engineer the most clever prompt in the world, but if you can't internalize your design as a comprehensive system and then articulate that in a way that brings genuine joy to the user, you will lose. Full stop. Technical execution can just no longer mask a poor user experience. It's that simple. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Section 3, the Tactical UX Playbook. We've got 3 steps to build your AI moat. All right, these are the exact practical steps you need to take, like right now, to turn your user experience into an absolutely impenetrable barrier. Step 1, treat design systems as core infrastructure. Step 2, bring design into those AI decisions early. And step 3, measure design exactly like you measure performance. Let's go ahead and break these down a bit. Starting off with tactic 1, core infrastructure. Listen, a design system is no longer just some UI kit or a casual sticker sheet for your team to use. It is foundational engineering infrastructure, period. You must version it, document it rigorously, and strictly enforce identical patterns across all your AI features. And why is that? Well, because consistency is the literal bedrock of user trust. Your AI should feel exactly like interacting with the rest of your meticulously crafted product. No surprises. Moving right along to tactic 2, and honestly, this one is a massive game changer. You need to treat agent behaviors and failure states as design problems, not just model tuning problems. We really have to stop treating AI as this pure engineering challenge. Think about it. When your AI inevitably hallucinates, and it will, how does the interface actually react? That experience needs to be designed to handle failure gracefully and transparently, right from the very start. So you're not just tuning the model to fail less, you're actively designing the interface to make those failures totally painless for the user.
And tactic 3, measure design. We absolutely must stop treating design as this subjective, fuzzy art form and start treating it as measurable science. You've got to track task completion rates, meticulously track user effort, like how hard did they actually have to work to get the AI to do what they wanted it to do, and of course, track overall user satisfaction. Give your design teams real measurable ownership over these critical performance numbers, because make no mistake, design is the heartbeat of your company's performance in the AI era. Okay, I want to issue a pretty dramatic final reality check here. If your AI features are functionally identical to your competitors, why on earth should a customer stay with you? Seriously, think about it. If everyone out there is pulling from the exact same foundational models, and your product doesn't have this superior, beautifully crafted UX anchoring them to your ecosystem, your customers are probably already actively looking for the exit. They'll just simply leave for whatever interface feels the best in their hands. Let's synthesize everything we've talked about today into one really powerful formula. A coherent design system plus genuine human empathy multiplied by strategic discipline, which really just means the ability to say no to gimmicks, equals the ultimate AI moat. Look, code is rapidly becoming a commodity. It's basically freely available to everyone now. But a disciplined, empathetic user experience, that right there, that is completely irreplaceable. So, to wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this one thought. In 5 years, we are not going to remember the models running under the hood, but we will absolutely remember how those tools made us feel. Now, I've got a challenge for you. What is the absolute clunkiest, most frustrating Frankenstein AI feature a company has ever forced you to use? I want to know. Drop your absolute worst AI user experiences in the comments below. Let's all learn from those mistakes together so we can start building some better moats. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep focusing on the user, and I'll see you in the comments.